Guys, this podcast is brought to you by our friends over at Wrestling Collector Shop. The next time you're looking to add the newest wrestling figures to your lineup, you've got to go to WrestlingCollectorShop.com. Started by collectors for collectors around the globe, Wrestling Collector Shop has been serving fans the latest and greatest in wrestling action figures since 2002. Whether you're looking for basics, elites, or ultimates, Wrestling Collector Shop should be your first stop the next time you're looking for wrestling figures. So make sure to go to WrestlingCollectorShop.com and use code SWOGGLE to save yourself 10% on your order. Again, that's 10% off with code SWOGGLE only at WrestlingCollectorShop.com. Hey guys! Once again, another episode of Going Postal. This week, as you can see, it's the Ask Swoggle Something episode of Going Postal. I think we did one of these in the very, very beginning, didn't we?
Back when it was a Patreon show, I think rather than have a question per episode, we just had
A bunch of them.
A full episode of questions.
Which I believe is like, wasn't that one of the reasons, like for a real like heavy hot take or something? I feel like that stemmed something. Like the original Ask Swoggle Something stemmed something.
I will say this. I don't have a like specific memory of that, but if that episode is going to be anything or was anything like this, I'm just going to get this out of the way now. If you submitted a question and you don't hear it today, there were some questions that were so good that they are now going to be spawning in the future full-blown state of affairs episodes that you will hear.
You son of a bitch.
Swoggle's opinion and Joe Shoe's opinion. Because like someone was just like, oh, I would love to hear Dylan's opinion on this. And I was just like, hold on a second. That's way too long of an explanation.
Because you know I get fired up?
Oh, 100%.
Or you know
there were some of the questions that I was just like, if they were food related or if they were about your specific opinion on something, I was like, these are state of affairs episodes, because then the entire episode will just be why Dylan likes or dislikes this one specific thing. So getting that out of the way in advance, we appreciate everyone's questions, but there were some questions that were just would have caused such a long debate on Dylan's end. They are better suited for a state of affairs episode.
I don't know. I don't know what, like, I saw some. This was the first time, George, I actually did some research and I looked at some questions. I was very proud of myself.
But you don't know which ones I picked.
Exactly. Did I look at it a lot? I did not. Because I like being surprised. I don't like thinking of answers. Guys, we haven't even done any intros.
That's true.
I'm Dylan. That's George. This is Going Postal. Talk to him, George.
All right, guys, as always, this podcast is brought to you by our friends over at Wrestling Collector Shop. Make sure to use code SWOGGLE to save yourself 10% on Mattel Basics, Elites, Ultimates, Major Bendies, all at WrestlingCollectorShop.com. Now, as Dylan said, today is the Ask episode, the Ask Swoggle Something episode, and we're going to jump into it in just a bit, but we got to get those social plugs in. At Going Postal Pod on all forms of social media, at Dylan Postal, YouTube.com/Dylan Postal for free video versions of this podcast and State of Affairs. Free! All you got to do is just go to the YouTube channel and you can watch them for free. DylanPostal.com for all things Swoggle, ProWrestlingTees.com/Swoggle for all of his shirts on this show and for State of Affairs shirts. Got a lot of big shirts coming through the... what is it? Down the pike. A couple big shirts coming down the pike.
Got some fun ones coming down the pike. I feel the YouTube channel has been a buzz as thanks to our friend Chris Van Vliet, friend of the show.
Hell yeah.
I mean, if you like Chris Van Vliet, stay tuned very soon as this comes out. But that's a spoiler, I guess. That's what kids say. But thanks to him and that interview that I did a few months back, and him putting it up, the YouTube channel really has taken off, and we've been putting out some awesome content on there between the podcasts and then the looking up diaries. It's been a good time. It's been a really busy time, and it's been a good time. Guys, if you're listening to this live, swoggleauction.com tonight, we have a huge stream over on Whatnot, swoggleauction.com. Head over there, sign up, save yourself $10 for free. You get a free $10 to use on Whatnot for whatever you want. There's going to be autographed items tonight, exclusive items tonight. I found some incredibly rare WWE shirts of mine that have never been worn, that are literally from the merch stand that I found in a crate.
The shillelagh?
Just hanging. There's no shillelagh tonight. Oh, wait. There is a Ringer shirt. That's going to be in the Buy It Now tonight. Guys, there is some extremely rare items in the Whatnot happening tonight if you're listening to this live, which would be June the 12th. Yep. I know dates and I know math. But swoggleauction.com. Get yourself $10 free.
Hell yeah. Well, with that, Dylan, there is nothing left to do but get into some questions, which we will be doing right after we come back from this break.
Ad read. Are you a fan of Disney, Pixar, Jurassic Park, The Office, or even WWE? Or maybe you just want a sleek and comfortable pattern shirt? Then you need to check out Roosevelts.com. RSVLTS.com today. Roosevelts makes the most eye-catching and comfortable shirts going today. Whether it's button-ups, or polos, or hoodies, or even hats, and everything in between, Roosevelt's truly has something for everyone. Made for those with the love of sports, pop culture, and so much more, and above all else, having a kick-ass time. This clothing is for the bold and fun, for those who dare mighty things. Roosevelts.com, check them out.
All right. That was a good what, Dylan?
Ad read.
Thank you. All right. The first question comes from... Oh, hold on. I got to see if I can pronounce this guy's name right.
Oh, this will be
Kanik? Kanik on Twitter?
No! Why? I saw this one. My favorite figure is not the Bendy. I'm very proud of the Bendy.
Hold on. I gotta... You can't interrupt if you know the question.
Mike
Kanik's question is... What is your favorite figure, and why is it your major bendy?
So I could hear him saying this because he's got that. He'll say it himself. Knick can never be a speech therapist. I can hear this read to me in Knick's voice. My favorite figure is not a major bendy, unfortunately. I have that sweet gold one, limited edition. Actually,
super sweet.
There'll be very limited of them available soon on DylanPostel.com. But my favorite figure definitely would be the Hairverse mask figure, the battle pack with Torito. The fact that no one really thought about it, but it's an elite figure with the articulation and then it comes with the removable hair and the mini table and mini ladder and mini chair. It's an incredible figure, and that was the figure that has Landon's handprints and name on the figure, which is pretty rad in itself. And
those deco hits.
Yeah, man. Thank God Torito didn't have a ton of deco, because otherwise my tattoos would have taken a hit. But it's just I really there's no beating that figure. Top to bottom, there's no beating that figure.
Thank you very much to Mike Knick. And hey,
never going to say his name correctly.
Kanik.
Happy.
Mr.
Nope.
Kanik.
Nope.
Listen, we love Knick on this show.
That's
huge
exactly
fan of Major Bendies. Next question from Twitter, from Johnny Espinoza, which I think this is a pretty good one. What are our Mount Rushmore of wrestling shirts?
Oh, man. Whoa. George, you have to think, because I'm coming to you after this, too. Blood from a Stone. I still... I know there's a huge argument, guys, about repro tees. I'm not. I hate vintage tees. I don't get it. I don't get the market for it. I don't understand why it's a thing.
As a collector item, I get it. As something you're going to wear, I mean, shirts are so much more comfortable now.
As a collector item, only if it's yours from a kid. As a kid, I'm not buying a worn shirt. Hell no. That's weird and gross to me.
Dylan Postel, not a big thrifting guy.
It makes me disgusted. Landon's mom loves rummage sales. I get so grossed out by rummage sales.
Is that what you call a garage sale? Is a rummage sale?
It's a rummage sale.
Oh. I think that's a difference between
we say like garage sale too, but I think a lot of
is there a difference?
One's here. No, because rummage sales usually are in a garage too.
I say because we just use garage sale like for anything.
Yeah.
It's tools, it's toys, it's clothes.
For the items, no, it doesn't matter. Blood of a Stone. DX original with the white print. Triple H, the ink logo. You know what I'm talking about? Where it looks like
it's the stamp, like the wax stamp.
Love it. Blood of a Stone. Pop, pop, pop.
Blood of a Stone, DX.
Yeah, Triple H stamp.
Wax seal.
I can't pick it. I hated the Rock's shirt so much. Probably the orange Ultimate Warrior shirt.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That I would love a repro of too. So here's the thing too: the WWE remakes of them, they always put that WWE logo on it, so blatant.
Let me tell you something. I hate
on the thing on the front.
Yeah. Like AEW does now, where like every shirt has the
NWO one is the worst, man. The NWO one is so bad.
OG. So mine's very simple. Mine is regular Austin 316. Mine are going to be so basic.
You son of a bitch.
Austin 316 DX. I 100% agree with you. Your Triple H shirt is good, but I like the one that said "Game Over," and then on the back it said, "You're goddamn right, I'm over."
Yeah, because that's the thing of your podcast.
It's not, but it's but I like that one. And is that 3 or is that 4?
That's 4. That's 3.
No, I couldn't remember. I couldn't remember if I named 3 or 4. And then the 4th one,
original NWO, isn't it?
Yeah, original NWO, man. There are so like the Sting one that recently came out with his retirement, where it's half Surfer Sting, half Crow Sting. Like that is so cool. I love that shirt. Like I'm not even as big of a
but it's
Johnny Clash is a huge Sting guy. It's his number 1, but like. Even I was just like, I like Sting. I'm a fan of Sting, but that shirt is amazingly cool.
Is nostalgia of when wrestling was cool taking over your mindset of shirts?
You
could argue that for mine too. You fully could argue that for mine as well.
The Blood from a Stone one is
there is no.
I just didn't want I agree 100% with your list. I just didn't want to pick the exact same shirt.
There is that or the Terminator, the half and half.
Oh, the
half skull, half face.
Yeah, it's got the red eye, chrome skull. That's a good one too.
I never liked the rattlesnake skull one. I never liked it.
Trying to think. Rock shirts were.
They're all sex and dick jokes. Like it's all it was.
Pie.
Yeah, man, that one with the bull eating the pie blatantly on the front of the shirt. I was like, even as a kid, I was like, I should have laughed at it. I should have maybe wanted it because it was funny and the sexual innuendo.
Did they ever sell? I broke Austin's neck.
The Owen one, yeah.
The Owen 316.
Yep.
I couldn't remember if they sold that shirt or is that just a shirt? Because that's a great shirt as well.
I just hated the Austin 316 shirt so much. Like the original.
Even as a kid? Like we're the same age.
Yeah,
you hated that as a kid?
Because you know why? I think it was like the original. That's why as a kid I had the red NWO shirt because I was like, all you jerks are getting the white.
I was a Wolfpack NWO kid.
Yeah, but I was like, you sheep are all doing the same Austin shirt, the same NWO shirt. I was like, nope, I'm not going to do it. I loved Wolfpack.
Ooh, that's a good one. What about that classic Macho Man?
Is it the purple?
The purple with the glasses.
Yeah,
I mean, repro now. Cactus
I never liked
Jack.
Macho.
The wanted poster for Cactus Jack?
Nope.
Ooh, Rock, just bring it.
Nope. It was a Rock shirt. I hated the Rock, man. I hated the Rock.
What about Get the F Out?
I have a sweet tank top with that I wear to the gym a lot, and because I look pretty jacked in it, so it makes me happy.
All right, yeah. We are leaving out some really, really big ones here.
I'll tell you this: Shoes will not have any idea about any shirts.
Well, now we can't do it because now he's going to listen, and we've given him too much ammo.
True.
Okay, Johnny, thank you very much for that question. Moving on, we've got Jeff M on Discord and Twitter. 2 different questions here from Jeff.
I like this.
First question is, were you born with so many horrible food takes, or did you spend years cultivating your horrendous...
That son of a bitch. I know who this is. I ain't no dummy. Listen here, Jeff. Kick rocks. I appreciate the support. I appreciate the Patreon support. I appreciate all that love.
We all do. Everyone on Pod Exchange appreciates you, Jeff.
But Jeff, kick rocks. You're a real asshole.
Jeff's other question, which is a real serious question. What did you think about the new Jim Henson documentary? And if Muppet Studios asked you to be in another Muppets movie, would you?
Funny thing you ask that, Jeff. You've gained 2 points back. That is tonight's. It'll be a week ago. It is tonight's supper viewing. Is the new Jim Henson doc.
Oh, I thought you were going to say preview, spoiler, I'm going to be in a new Muppets movie. I was like, holy shit, Dylan.
Man, I got my feelers out though for every production. I'm on the Muppet dirt sheet, so I know when stuff's being done. If the documentary
call him run sheet Dylan.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. If the documentary is anywhere near as good as the autobiography that Brian J. Johnson put out a few years ago, it's going to be incredible. But the book, man. Oh man, this is where Dylan messes up again.
Can't remember.
He had some demons in his closet. Nope. Skeletons. He had some skeletons in his closet.
You battle your demons, your skeletons in the closet.
Yep. The biography, like the autobiography, like it revealed a lot of skeletons that he had. It was, man, I love that book. It's a book that I would like to read again. But if this documentary is anywhere near as good as that, it'll be fantastic. Jeff, you redeemed yourself, and of course, I would be part of anything Muppet related. It's actually like a huge bucket list item to go out to LA and visit the Jim Henson Company, because I've never seen the studio and the company building before.
There you go. There's the next big trip. Maybe not May 4th. Maybe you go out. Maybe no Disney trip next May.
Landon always asks if we would do that California, and I said I don't want to not do Orlando, so it'd be like a double year trip. And now in high school, I don't know, man. I don't know if we could.
Maybe set the stakes. Maybe he's got to get like a real good report card or something. Like really make them.
Yeah, man. While I'm out in LA, I'll play for the Lakers.
This is why I'm not a parent. Apparently, my parenting tactics would be shitty. Justin Summers on Discord says, Dylan, your life is in danger, and the only way to get out of it is to permanently unblock Josh Bishop or Broski.
Bishop. 100% Bishop. 100%. I can deal with
beef
Bishop.
Isn't squashed?
No.
I thought it was. I thought it was good.
It was. Josh Bishop for sure. I know Josh Bishop's annoyances and knew it, and that, yeah. And I can tune him out. I'm very good at tuning him out.
All right. Justin, thank you very much for that question. And from one Justin to another Justin, this comes from Mr. Stay Puffed, aka Justin on Discord. What is with your dad and hard shell tacos?
Hold on. Where did this come up? I need to know. But I think I talked about this. I think I talked about this
question, and I was just like, "What? This must have a story behind it."
Oh, it does. It fully does. But it's a belief that everyone should have. Eric Postel. See, this is like the only true like hot take that I've ever heard Eric Postel have. he hates hard shell tacos because he goes, you eat a hard shell taco, you're not getting a bite of everything, and you're not making a mess. I hate hard shell tacos. Hard shell tacos are dog shit. The only way a hard shell
cheesy gordita crunch is the best taco at Taco Bell.
The only way to eat a hard shell, period, is inside a cheesy gordita crunch, which is the number one item at Taco Bell, bar 100%. None. But his hatred for hard shell tacos is literally like some of my hot takes. I that's it. I had to have talked about it on Twitch. I had to have. That's a heavy pull because we've never obviously talked about it. That's a
deep cut. That's why I was like, there's got to be a story behind this.
Man, that's good. Justin, good memory. Unless that son of a bee did some sleuthing at WrestlingCon again and went up to Eric Postel and got some stuff out of Eric Postel. That might have been it too.
That's possible.
He's known to sleuth.
Justin's got another. First of all, Justin is the king of Swoggle shirts.
He's an asshole.
Always shows up with the best shirts. The short stack shirt is a 10 out of 10. I would put that on your Pro Wrestling Tees store tomorrow.
I can't. I literally
spectacular shirt.
There is no chance. There is zero chance.
Spectacular. All right. Justin has another question. Who was Dylan's childhood crush?
Oh man, this is a good one. Kimberly.
I feel like we talked about this.
No, Pink Ranger.
Oh, I was going to go Jennifer Love Hewitt.
No, I just danced with her. I just asked for slow dance. I had no idea who she was. I literally had no idea. I knew she was in Scream, I think, right?
We just lost a listener. She's a huge fan of this podcast. Was she in Scream? Scream, Party of Five, or no. I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
Know What You Did Last Summer, Party of Five.
I love her, obviously. I knew who she was, but I've never seen any movies of her. It's shocking. I saw Scream 1.
She's not
part of it. Part of it. I watched. She's what?
She's not in Scream.
I thought you said she was.
No, she's. I Know What You Did Last Summer. Nev Campbell is Scream.
Nope. I saw Scream. I saw part of Scream during the day, probably 10 or 20 minutes of it, and then I shut it off because it's too scary.
Was that like 15 years ago?
Yep. Have not tried to watch it since. But
we're getting to a point where you don't even have to finish your sentences. I just know what's gonna happen.
It's scary. It's dumb. It's stupid. Why waste your time? Childhood crush first one was Pink Ranger. Second one would have been Sunny. And then after that, Topanga Lawrence. And then it went to Alicia Cuthbert from Girl Next Door.
Slowpoke 33 on Discord. How has the process been training Landon? How involved are you with it, or are you taking a back seat for now?
He's not training. Like, he's legitimately not training.
Because he's not able to, right?
Yeah, I'm not allowing him to formally train. When he's 17, he can do formal training. Right now, he literally just goes to the camp in the school by himself and bumps around and self-teaches because I won't teach him. Literally, that's what it is. And then last week, on his last day of school, or second last day of school, can we go to the ring? I said, sure. And I was watching him take like flatbacks and flip bumps for the first time ever, like actual ones, and not just messing around. And I was like, oh god, nope, don't speak up, Dylan, don't speak. But then I started speaking up, and that. But it was, man, it's something. I truly don't know, man. I don't know if I'm gonna let myself train him because I'll be too hard on him. Like, that'll be a Binder and a Salem Crane and a Preston Palmer thing of
maybe at least in the beginning, let them do the foundation work, and then when it comes time to like put matches together and stuff like that, then
I'll be even harder on him. I know me. That's why I literally almost want to be hands off with him. I want to be fully on
best, man.
Because I know me, and I know I'm gonna. I don't want him to get disgruntled, and I feel myself like with current students at times getting too down on them and too negative, and I try not to, but Dylan's a negative person, as we know. And
But
so
he's trying.
yeah, I'm trying. I don't know if I'll be hands-on. I don't think I will be.
All right. Now, okay, I have a question about this.
Mhm.
Learning to do flip bumps, flatbacks, but can hit frog splashes like it's nobody's business? How does is that
'Cause
all
he-
just like from the crash pad work that
Yeah,
he's
that's
learned how to
literally
do
it.
that
That's
perfectly?
literally it. That I don't know who
Dude,
he
I
would have
saw
ever
the video. It's a
I don't know who he
clean
would have
frog
ever done a
splash.
head scissors to. Like thinking about that, he used to do a head scissors to me when he was like 4 or 5, but that's it. I don't think he's ever done a head scissors regular. Oh no, he did one with Dan the Dad. That's right, he did one with Dan the Dad on a Black Label show one time. Yeah,
Crazy.
I it's literally self-taught. It's literally like backyard wrestling, but by himself.
Damn. All right. Slowpoke, thank you very much for that question. Our next question comes from Germ85 on Discord. Germ also has 2 questions, and Germ's first question is, do you have a favorite Louisiana cuisine? And he specified and said that he means actual food in Louisiana and not some place that throws Cajun on something.
I like Landon and I actually love jambalaya.
Okay.
And there's this box mix called Zatarans, obviously. That's I bet you we have that once a week. It literally is one of our favorite easy meals that we make. That I don't like beignets because they're too messy. Powdered sugar and they're just too messy. Nope, not worth it. I don't get the whole crawfish boil because it's just a mess. Why are we throwing shit just on the table? It's dumb to me. I don't get it.
That sounds great.
But I don't know. I think probably I like jambalaya a lot. Yeah, that's probably my one.
All right. Germ's second question is, which video game on any console or arcade is your most despised game of all time?
Oh man.
Video game hot take here.
Like the one that makes me most angry, would you say? Would you say that is?
Yeah, I'm going to say despised as like you tried it and you just got mad and were just like, I can't play this.
I will say this. This is going to upset a lot of people. I just re-downloaded Red Dead. I couldn't do it. It's too slow moving. And I know that's the point of it. You're not in
And
cars.
you despise it now?
I didn't despise it, but I was very upset at it because I don't remember feeling that slow moving.
Is there a game that makes your blood boil when you think about it?
No, because actually, I don't try a lot of new games, as you know. I don't try. I stick to my things. I don't like to learn new things.
Oh, I 100% expected you to be like Paperboy or Tetris or Pac-Man.
No,
like,
I
drive me
love-
nuts.
Man, I love Tetris. I love Tetris. You know what? Probably Battletoads because of that level. The stupid ass jet ski level.
Yep.
That it's just impossible and it's stupid. Like, why make a level like that? And I get why, because you want the re-rentability. Which I just learned. Like game but developers
Mhm.
made games like for NES and that for re-rentability purposes.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
I never knew that until I forgot. I think I watched it's a really cool documentary. I hope you've seen it. The NES or the Nintendo versus Sega rivalry.
Oh, yeah.
It's awesome, man. I love that. But it's there was, I forget what game it was, but they were talking about the re-rentability of it, and it just helped video game stores. So
It's the
yeah,
Blockbuster
probably
age.
Battletoads. The what?
The Blockbuster age.
We had a family. Blockbuster was the expensive one in town. We had a Family Video, and then we had Hollywood Video, which was even more than Blockbuster, but you could get it for 5 or 7 nights, which was mind blowing.
I remember when you used to be able to rent consoles from Blockbuster. And
Yeah.
It was like,
$30.
holy crap.
It was
You can get a whole
$30.
N64 and try it before you bought the console
Yeah.
to see if you actually liked it.
I always rented a
Crazy.
regular PlayStation when I wasn't grounded. Which was very rare. But I always rented a regular PlayStation, but then hated it because of the loading.
All right. Jerem, thank you very much for those questions. The next couple of questions come from Bobby Meckling on Discord. Bobby's first question. What's your favorite moment from AIW?
Oh man. To be honest, my favorite moment probably is me versus. No, it's when John Thorne, and Ethan Page teamed up. Just because we're buddies, man. Thorne has turned into a best friend of mine, a true best friend of mine. And obviously Julian, as we call him on the pod, he's incredibly close to me as well. Even closer than Thorne, maybe. I don't know, but it's like those. Then having a match, being able to team with them and just laugh, literally just laugh on the outside was fun. It's just such a fun time. I'm lucky, man. I've been able to do so many fun things at AIW. I wrestled Thorne because Joey Janela didn't make the show, so I had to wrestle Thorne, and we just had a blast. And then I had a death match with Britt Baker, who seeing what she went on to become was incredible too. And so being able to do a death match with her early in her career was really, really fun.
I think it worked out okay for her.
I think she did okay. I think she moved on to pretty good things. But yeah, it's AIW. I've always said it's my second home. And so to be able to do the fun things there, and I've been very grateful, as our buddy says.
There's the heartfelt moment this week.
Very heartfelt moment.
Bobby Meckling's next question. Which of the three would you pick to eat on a loop, and why? Your choices are Bob Evans, IHOP, and Waffle House.
Funny you say Bob Evans, because so when Shoes brought up Roy Rogers in one of the many battles I've beaten him at by now, when Shoes brought up Roy Rogers, I was like, is that Bob Evans? I think I've had it. No, Bob Evans. I go to Bob Evans in Cleveland
Honey butter
for
chicken.
AIW. They what?
Honey butter chicken.
Nope, haven't had that.
It's like their thing.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
So I've had Bob Evans, but IHOP for sure. Waffle House is very close to In-N-Out with the overratedness. It's very close for me.
We don't have a ton of them over here, so very sparingly that I get to
I've had it
visit one.
I've had it probably a dozen times, but it's not anything. IHOP, man, you get steak tips and eggs, no mushroom, of course, and you get the Harvest Grain and Nut pancakes. That's what you get.
Solid meal. So IHOP is your
IHOP.
choice.
For love those
IHOP's
three,
my
for
choice
sure.
too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, IHOP's my choice too. Okay, Bobby's next question is: what is your favorite cartoon theme song, and what is your favorite non-cartoon theme song?
Current, this day and age, Phineas and Ferb, 100 Days of Summer Vacation, because, man, heartfelt, here we go. Landon would be in his room, which is out this hallway to the left, all the way at the end of the hallway, in the Potsdam cottage, of course. And then I would be in the living room, and he would hear, he wasn't walking at the time, he would hear the theme song, and you just hear of him crawling as fast as he could down the hall. And he just said he would always call it P for Perry the Platypus. He'd go, P? And it's like, man, the thought of that, it's just such a really, really good moment. Gets me in the feels, as they say. Probably regular show is probably the Home Improvement theme, again for nostalgia purposes. That was me and my dad's show every Tuesday. That was our thing. When my parents got divorced, that was what we watched, and that was I don't know, it was just our connection all the time. And then years and years later, when I was an adult, I got Tim Allen came to do stand up in the area, and so I got to take him. It's a really, really cool thing. So
you do your best Home Improvement.
How?
Thank you. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah, for sure, man. Both of those have a really, really good meaning to me.
I'm going DuckTales for cartoon.
Yep. Okay.
And then non-cartoon, I think I'm going to go The Office.
I think I'm gonna get the Tool Time logo in my film strip.
Oh.
Yep.
What's in
It's
there
happening.
now?
I have TTM for Tag Team Move. I have the Power Ranger triangles. I have the Target logo, which Matt loves to make fun of me for. Shocking, I know. I have some of them are burned for my house fire. That was a thing. I have a book for my autobiography. I have Kermit's Eye for my love of the Muppets. I have the Oshkosh West W. I have the Warrior symbol. I have Mickey Mouse ears, and I have Dan Marino's 13.
Damn. There's a lot more stuff. I thought it was going to be like
No,
there's a lot. Things.
I'll never fill up the first, and I'll never fill up the end. There's a very little one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5, I would say. 6.
Hell yeah. All right. Bobby's final question is for both of us, and it is, what has been the highlight for both of us working together these last 3-ish years?
Letting my self therapy. Man, it's weird, man. It it is self therapy when we do like the topics that are like hard hitting, man. It's one of those things, almost like the book was, where it's a release of like, oh, okay, I can talk about this, and I can be okay talking about this, and I don't have to worry about shitheads like laughing at it. That, and then like also, as cliche as it is, like as close as we've become, where I talk to you every day, all day, and it went from not knowing each other hardly at all, and just being like, hey, this guy can help you with that, and then turned into a podcast thing. This guy can co-host with you, and again, not knowing each other really at all, and then jumping in to the deep end when I'm not a good swimmer. I'm actually a great swimmer. That's just a ideology thing. Probably not the right word, but it's just one of those things. And then like, also you, like everyone, like a lot of people lately, you take it as Dylan is very good at asking for help instead of fucking shit up himself, and that's okay. Like, instead of a hey dickhead, just do it. I don't want to, because I won't. I'll just shut down and I won't do it, and it won't happen.
No,
yeah, like literally the relationship that we've obviously built. And it's so cliche, but then on top of that, just the fact of being able to open up.
I 100% agree. I mean, the friendship that we have put together, forged over the last 3 years, definitely worth doing this whole podcast. Like Dylan said, we talk multiple times throughout the day. And yeah, I agree 100%. You've come a long way in your ability to open up, your ability to be honest with, I mean, it's you and I on this. Like, there's no one else on the call here, but a lot of people listen to it. So when you're honest and you're sitting here and you're talking to me about it, you're really being honest and open with everyone else that's listening to the podcast, which is cool. And something that I know that you were hesitant to do in the beginning, but I think we've come a long way and we've covered some hard-hitting topics. So I would say for sure our friendship, also very proud of the growth that you've gone through the last 3 years, watching you become a professional interviewer of sorts, you know, with everyone that you've sat down with, whether they're friends, people you didn't really have like a already existing relationship with, and just kind of putting a feeler out there and be like, hey, I got this podcast. Can I interview for it? And watching how you handled those. And then I would be very, very remiss if I didn't mention the fact that because we did this podcast, we have our own little group now. Like, yeah. I'm incredibly proud of what me and you and Shoes and Clash have put together over the last year, both separately, together. We're lumping in the whole podcast. It's what we've done over the past, you know, almost 5 years. We've come a long way, and I'm happy that we've all been on this journey together.
And it's listeners to this pod, check out Pod Exchange, PodXChange. check it out. If you don't, if you're not able to support the Patreon, that's okay. Literally what I'm asking is you to check out Game Marks Pod, you to check out State of Affairs if you aren't already, because we're just like, I feel that we're gonna kick off very, very soon of a like, hey, we're just gonna blast through some shit, and it's gonna be a really, really cool ride to see the content that we're able to put out and the fun we're able to have doing it. And the minute it becomes work, I'm backing out and going, nope, no, I don't want to work anymore. I want it to be fun for all of us. So,
well, that's the same logic that Clash and I had when
I think that's what we've all
started doing the podcast.
exactly.
It's just,
yep.
as long as it's fun, it'll never feel like work. And when it starts to feel like work, either something's not working or we got to change how we're doing certain aspects of it because it's supposed to be fun. Thank you very much, Bobby, for all of your questions. That was like a second heartfelt moment for the episode. And usually I don't get to do those.
There was hardly a break between the heartfelts there.
Yeah, I usually don't get to do that part, so I appreciate the ability to share that. All right, we're gonna move on over to some Instagram questions, and then we're gonna end with a question from Messenger. The Instagram question, the first one comes from chair.shot and says, "Can you walk us through your travel routine from the time you get to a show to the time you get home?"
This is one of the ones I did in my research. I found, and if I research, I saw them all. But this is one that stood out right before we started recording. It's a fun thing. Like, so I'm a maniac when it comes to packing. I'm an overpacker, big time, huge overpacker. Probably because my IBS. Good chance you know where that's going. But yeah, I pack. Like, I have a show on Saturday. It's a local show for ACW Wisconsin, but I'll pack my gear. I have a reminder in my phone. Went off at noon. Gear, merch, 8x10s. So that I know today, on Wednesday, every Wednesday, I need to repack my gear, my merch, and my 8x10s every week. And so, I love it. Like, I get in the zone packing my gear bag. I love packing my gear bag. For some reason, like, unless it's like a long trip, like an overseas one where I'm gone like 5 or 7 days, then it's like, oh man, I have so much to pack, but also it reminds me of how long I'm going to be gone. And then it's a even bigger hit to the guts. I love doing my merch bag. I love refilling that. Landon likes packing it with me now, which he loves doing. So, but from pack, like that's that. I live 26 minutes from my bed to the gate at the Appleton Airport. It is the best. They might have held a plane or two for me a couple times over the years.
That's not your gimmick.
I know that's Mark's. They won't hold it for him. They'll hold it for me. He's been on 0 WrestleManias. I've been on 6, Mark.
And you're the mayor.
I'm the mayor of Oshkosh. But yeah. So that, and then I'm boring now. When it comes to the road, I am boring. I love getting in and going to the hotel and just relaxing, or I'll go to the venue and put my headphones on and just set up my merch and relax. After that, I've turned into one of those carny old guys that as soon as the match and intermission is done, I want to get out of the show and go back to the hotel because I have my routine. I get back when if it's about an hour or so drive, or if it's whatever, I order my DoorDash or my Eat Street or my Grub, whatever it is, when I'm 20 minutes out, so that it arrives usually when I'm there for like 10 minutes. I can meet the driver. I can literally eat, shower, go to bed.
What's your go-to?
Usually Domino's. I'm usually that man. I'm known for on the road Domino's. That's especially that Saturday show. Friday show will be something decent, so I don't have an upset stomach the next day. Saturday night is Domino's after the show. $6.99 menu. Can't beat it. I love it. That's my go-to, depending on the merch sales. But then it's like, I just want, and then I'm always first flight in, first flight home. That first flight home, I tell people, if it's extra, I'll cover it. I just want that first flight home. Because I have to connect every week. So, to come home and fly out. So, I don't want any chances of getting home at 7 or 8 at night when I'm connected.
Yeah.
So I want I want that first flight home. I love it, man. I still say like traveling doesn't bother me. Flights don't bother me. Maybe it's because I can get so comfortable, and we've talked about that on the past episode. Me on the road. But I love traveling. I love flying. I hate driving. If there's anything over 200 miles, I ain't driving it. Not happening. I just can't do it. I'm a horrible night driver. I fall asleep real easy, and I just don't get comfortable in the cars anymore.
Chairshot, very good question. And I feel like that was even a little bit more insight than, we never talked about your from the airport schedule. It was more of just like stories from the road, challenges that you face. But this was like a good rundown of like what you liked, how you like to schedule it, and like what your planning is.
Like I say, I'm definitely an overpacker, and I'm definitely one of those that, especially like I always need my entertainment bag. I double up on phone chargers. I double up now. I need my hearing aid charger. I need my headphone charger. All that stuff. I always definitely like have to have, if not double of. And then I have to have hair bands, and I have to have it's just so much crap that I make sure to have, and I refill every week. And then if I wrestling socks, I always have to have my wrestling socks, because now it's been in the last month, 2 weekends where I've forgotten my pair of wrestling socks, and I get real jittery before the match. Just a pair of black athletic socks, but I get real jittery, and I don't like it. It never used to be like this.
Dylan Posto, big wrestling socks guy.
Just basic ass, dry, breathable socks. But I have 6 specific pairs of them that are only worn for wrestling. And if I don't have them, I don't like it. I immediately go, I'm going to get hurt. Tonight's going to be the end.
Next question comes from Ackman Jones on Instagram. Do you think Wisconsin gets overlooked? There's so much great talent here, and so many are ACW staples, but it always feels like unless you're from Chicago, you don't get a real look.
Yeah. I tell the students all the time, I said, guys, Wisconsin's like a weird black hole. And I don't get why, but it truly is, and I truly believe that Wisconsin's always been this weird black hole for independent wrestling. Just looked over, there's Minneapolis, there's Detroit, and there's Chicago. Now Rollins has his school in Iowa, so it's like, man. Well, but it's fine. I'm okay with being a black hole. I mean, I'm sure my students aren't, but as long as we're killing it at what we're doing, that's what I love. But I tell my students the first day, guys, none of you are going to get signed, and they all kind of look at me like, what? It's because there's nothing that you can do to get yourself signed. There isn't. They're not looking for someone like you. That's it. It's tough. And maybe that's my negative mindset coming through, obviously. But we've always been a black hole. Wisconsin's always been that way. The only reason I got my job is because Ken, and all that's that whole thing. But yeah, we're trying to break it. We're trying to break out of the shell of the Wisconsin black hole, but I don't know if it'll ever happen.
Times they are changing, my friend. So
I
who knows? So. And another ACW question we have here. This will be the final question from Instagram. Is from Phoenix22965, and their question is: what is your favorite part of ACW and running your own school?
The school, as far as the school, it's like seeing people grow, seeing guys break out of their shells. I love seeing these students that come in so timid and so nervous and so just in their shell. We call it the double birds moment of when you get comfortable enough with me or Colucci, and we go, you take a bump and you do something well, and you just give one of us the double birds. It's like, hey, I told you I could do this. That's the breaking the shell moment. And it happens every class. Someone finally does it. It's like, man, there we go. And almost like an uproar from the rest of the class. So from that to their debut, when they debut, it's literally like I said, I say it all the time. It's like watching Landon ride his bike for the first time, or score his first touchdown, or that kind of thing. It's huge to me. It really, really is, because I call them my kids. Running shows, it's not even it's so not an ego thing to me anymore. It's now hey, we're making a movement still in a city that is I mean, we're not Green Bay. We're not Milwaukee. We're Oshkosh. We're not even Appleton. Like, we're a small, small town. And so to be able to make the movement that we have about wrestling and local wrestling, it's a really, really good feeling. That's what I love most about running these shows. Is it truly is like such a team effort and such like it's so cliche, but the DIY kind of thing of we're just a startup thing, and we view ourselves nothing more than that.
Nothing wrong with taking pride in what you do, man. Being
That's what it
proud
is.
of the work
That's
that
really
you put
what it
in
is.
and taking pride in something that you have a huge part in building. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and it's such been, like I said, it's been such a team effort and such a everyone is just supporting the cause, and we've had so many like things thrown at us of money and arson and all of this that it's been nuts. But we've somehow made it through all of it, which is crazy to me.
Hell yes. All right, guys. It is now time for the final question of the episode.
Okay.
Final question.
I know you and how you put these lists together. This will be great.
Final question. Actually, yeah, I want you to answer this one. Final question comes from our good friend, our captain, I guess you could
Son
say,
of a bitch.
Mr. Joe Shoes himself. And Joe's question is, and I'm gonna build upon this.
Okay.
Joe's question is, who's Landon's favorite wrestling friend? Ethan Page, Brian Myers, or Captain Shoes? And I would also like you to answer that question as well. Who is your favorite wrestling friend?
Landon's is probably Brian. Yeah, he's been around him the longest. Brian took him under his wing at Squared Circle and really showed him how to work the system for autographs. Brian trusted him to run the booth. And Brian's he's known him the longest. Mine, man, it's probably the same. I don't know, man. That's tough for me because they're so all three of them are such different humans, obviously. Two of them are dads. One of them is just a captain of a whole
Fun
ship.
uncle.
A funkle. Yeah, that's what it is. But it's
Funkle Shoes.
Funkle Shoes.
There's a shirt.
But I've grown so close with Julian and Shoes in the last couple of years. But I love those guys. I'm realizing, last question, heartfelt moment, ending it on a heartfelt moment. I'm realizing there are awesome people around me, and I'm okay letting more in, even if I don't see them all the time. Because there's this thing called Messenger, or texting, or my favorite, FaceTime, that we can literally act like we're together and hang out. And it's just, man, I have come very, very close with Julian and with Shoes. Shoes, you're not number one, mainly because you argue with me, you call me an idiot and a short shit, and we can't be close, as we can't be too close, otherwise that podcast goes in the tank. It goes the way of the dodo. That's what they say.
If you guys become too close and you become the same person, that podcast is
It's done.
Better than dog shit. Oh, guys, a Q&A episode in the books. Thank you all for participating. All the amazing questions. Thank you very,
Unreal.
very much.
You guys killed it again. Easiest way, guys. I know I plugged it before, but the Patreon, it's the Discord is literally turned into at times a Q&A or a meet and greet or just a chat. I've been in there a lot. I'm going to get in there even more going forward. And join the Patreon. You get in Discord, all of that. The Whatnot streams. Ask your stuff in there. I'd be okay with doing a couple of the ASSs a year. Just if we get enough enough turnout.
Oh, absolutely. And
But I
who's
think
to say that we can't do crossover ass episodes?
Exactly.
But then again, the naming convention means nothing because it's an ass episode and it's just Ask Swaggle something, but then other people are there.
I love that. It's you guys really showed up for this, and I appreciate it. Thank you. Makes our job easier.
Absolutely. As always, at Going Postal on all forms of social media, at Dylan Postal on all forms of social media, youtube.com/Dylan Postal for free video versions of this podcast and State of Affairs, swoggleauction.com. Tonight, there is a very special auction that Swaggle is putting together, and you can get yourself a free $10 credit when you visit swoggleauction.com, dylanpostal.com, prowrestlingtees.com/swaggle. This is the part where Dylan will yell at me and go, George, plug your shit. So I'm just going to save him the time.
George, tell him about what you do.
Okay, I would love to do that. Well, in addition to this wonderful podcast, I have another podcast that is hosted by myself and former Create a Pro champion, Johnny Clash. But on this podcast, we like to call him
Carus!
And we are called the Game Marks Podcast, and we cover a new wrestling video game each and every week. And our goal is to play them all. So please make sure to check us out wherever you can find your podcast and on all forms of social media at Game Marks Pod. And in addition to this podcast, Dylan has another one. You've heard us talk about it in this show. It is called The State of Affairs, and him and Captain Joe Shees debate a different topic spanning food, wrestling, movies, all things pop culture each week. And there are debates on who's winning or losing or who's in the lead or not. It's not that kind of competition.
There's no debate. There's zero debate on that for the simple fact of I am easily up 3-1. Easily. If not 4-0.
Dylan says it's either 3-1, 4-0, and you can get in on the action on all forms of social media at Affairs Pod. And we appreciate you joining us for this episode. And if you want to help out the show, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, ring the notification bell, and leave a review and a rating on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you choose to listen to your podcast. But, Dylan, that's it. That's the whole show.
That's it.
This is the part where you do that signature sign off.
Thank you all for your questions. They were very, very good. Except Jeff Montalvo. Guys, let's talk about Mad Cat Beard Care. They make my beard feel soft, silky smooth, and they can do the same for yours. A one-man show since 2019, Mad Cat uses a portion of their sales to care for local stray cats. That money covers their medical bills and finds them safe spaces and forever homes. Their products are made to order with vitamins and all-natural oils that promote strong, healthy hair and moisturize your skin as well. They've got exclusive scents for myself, as well as other wrestlers like my good pal Brian Myers, Mr. Kennedy, and Ring of Honor legend Delirious. Make sure to check out all of their scents, along with my Swoggled scent, which has notes of lavender and sage. I absolutely love this scent. And guys, we've got an exclusive offer for listeners of Going Postal. Use promo code SWOGGLED to save yourself 15% on your orders only at madcatbeardcare.com. That is swoggled with a D on the end to save yourself 15% on your orders at madcatbeardcare.com. Guys, that's 15% with promo code SWOGGLED, and remember, the Mad Cat makes a happy beard.